Hey, this is Alex here with Vincere Trading, and in this video I'm going to show you guys the back test results for the inverse fair value gap bot here on NinjaTrader 5. Now, all transparency, this bot was initially coded to trade on NinjaTrader, but we had so many requests for it for Forex, so we got it built out for MT5 and MT4. This one actually has a little bit more of some dynamic aspects to it with a multiple position exit, which is cool. We're working on actually putting that into the NinjaTrader file because it's done so well. Let me shrink my face down a little bit and let's go over it. So you can see I'm here on NinjaTrader 5. This is an IC Markets demo account. Again, personally I'm trading futures, but I just went and grabbed this IC Markets account just so I could show you guys how everything works here. But real simple. We are in the strategy tester. I have the IFVG bot pulled up, running it on the US Tech on the 1 minute time frame. US Tech is going to be the NASDAQ 100. On some Forex prop firms or brokers, it's going to be NAS 100 or NAS 100, whatever you want to pronounce it. We're going to run the back test for basically a full 14 months here from January 1st, 2024 to basically March 12th. You'll see I'm using the delay here with my latest ping speed. Now, depending on your server or if you're using a VPS and how close your VPS server is to your broker server, you could probably get that ping speed down a lot. But just to try to make the results as accurate as possible, I'm going to use that. $100,000 deposit account using a 1-to-100 leverage. You can make that a 1-to-30 if you want, because I'm pretty sure most Forex prop firms now are 1-to-30. And let's go over the settings really quick. Now keep in mind, in the how-to videos, I show you guys how to download the bot. I show you how to upload it into your NinjaTrader 5. I show you how to run these different variable back tests, not only for MT5 and MT4. And just quick 2 cents, I always 1000% recommend back testing on MT5 over MT4. I know MT4 is kind of the OG, but to me it's archaic. It's not going to be as accurate. It doesn't have anywhere near the suite of capabilities. Yes, we do have an MT4 version of the Expert Advisor, but you'll see in those how-to videos I say, hey, backtest on MT5. But with that being said, let's run through the settings really quick. You have your license key capability. All of these you'll leave as true. One of the cool things about the IFVG bot is we're not trading every single inverse fair value gap. We do have some filter aspects to it and which ones we do trade, which ones we don't. My favorite factor is the dynamic risk factor. So what that's going to allow us to do is dynamically calculate our risk reward. And what that means is when a inverse fair value gap actually happens and we inverse a fair value gap, the stop loss based on our stop loss settings is going to have a certain tick range. And that tick range is going to be dynamic. It's not always the same, 50 points, 25 points, 15 points, whatever it may be. There's different ranges with the stop losses. So what this tool does is it'll dynamically calculate that total tick range based on your settings. And then when it goes to enter the position, based on that total amount of ticks for your stop loss, it'll adjust your lot sizes for your entry to make sure that no single stop loss will ever be more than what your max total risk amount is. So if I have $500 in here, no single trade will ever lose more than $500. Now you can also turn this over to the manual if you always just want to have the same exact position size for every single trade. I personally don't recommend that just because you're going to have some trades where, let's say you're using 5 lots and you're going to have a stop loss of, 20 points. And then you'll have another scenario where you have a stop loss of 60 points. And if you're running the same contract size, that means your risk is not going to be the same on all your trades. Therefore, your stats and your edge will get thrown off. Okay, so definitely highly recommend running the dynamic size. This does it all for you. It doesn't matter what instrument you're on, it'll calculate it dynamically and use the appropriate lots. Now here is our trade window. So it's not trading all the time. There is a specific window. To put it into, normal time zone terms, keep in mind I'm on the West Coast, so I usually will talk in these videos as Pacific time zone. But for me, the IFVG bot runs from 6:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now here on this server, specifically with IC Markets, it's 10 hours ahead of my local time. So I had to adjust my trade start and trade end to make sure it is trading during the appropriate times that I want it to trade, at least for the US Tech instrument. Okay. Here's a gap size filter. So if it's anything less than 800 ticks, which sounds like it's a lot, but really it's I think like 8 points or something on here. That's the filter that we use. So if it's less than that, the gap is just ignored. It won't even chart out. More than that, it will chart it out. Bars to enter. If a gap doesn't get inverted within 30 bars, the gap is now ignored. I'm looking for future gaps. pretty simple. We have what's called a 2-position entry. So TP1 is going to be a 1-to-1, and then TP2 down here is going to be, let me just move my face. TP2 is going to be a 2-to-1. Okay. Offset in ticks, what this is going to do is it's not going to, you can make it for 0, but at 1,000 tick offset, what that basically means is whatever the gap high and low, let's say it's a bearish fair value gap that we get inverted, right? It's going to put the stop loss, instead of right at the price of the top of the gap, it's going to add an additional offset. So when you take that short entry, it's going to add that additional offset, okay? You can make that as big or as small as you want. Again, we provide the master settings that we have found to prove out to be the best. You can tweak them slightly here and there to make your entries and exits more unique. You'll see overall the strategy is pretty viable unless you drastically change the settings. You can ignore, let's see, there's a break-even functionality, which again for me is not really that needed because we are basically getting to a 2-to-1 for our final exit, so having it break even at 2-to-1, and you'll see these are by risk ratios, right? So what that means is when I'm targeting a 2, I'm targeting 2x my total stop loss range in ticks from my entry to my stop loss. So if my total stop loss range is, let's say, 4,000 ticks or 40 points, then my TP2 at a 2x ratio is going to be 8,000 ticks or 80 points. Okay. We have a trail functionality, which I currently have disabled. You can have a slippage filter if you want, but basically we're going to give you these master settings, and with all that talking, let's just go run the actual back test here. So keep in mind this was for 14 months, and you'll see here, no bot is going to be perfect. You are going to have days where you lose, you're going to have trades where you lose in a row, but overall what we're looking for, especially across a larger time frame of back testing, is a consistent edge. Okay, and this always happens with MetaTrader 5. It drives me crazy, but obviously, like I said, we're running a $500 risk per trade on this. You're not going to have whatever this was, a $25,000 risk, right, on a single trade or a single day. So this is just a clear break in the code, and I'll show you guys, not the code, but in the data coming through. But as you can see, we do have a pullback here, a drop down. We go down almost 3,000 there, and then we go on a nice little run. Let's see, our worst drawdown here, not too bad. But basically, you take this whole thing, you add it up. So it's about 20,000 here. We had about 25,000 there, so you're looking at 45,000 for the last 14 months on a $500 risk per trade. Now if we go over here to our back test, we can go look at some more of the data directly. What do you know? There's your break in the data, hence that crazy line down. But overall, pretty decent small drawdown, 6%. The total net profit's not really accurate, so this drawdown isn't really necessarily accurate because I'm sure it's taken into account that big massive one, but anyways, I think it's taken into account the total versus the actual drawdown. So anyways, let's keep it going. Profit factor pretty strong, expected payoff pretty strong. Long trades won about 50%, lost short trades won about 46%, keeping in mind that basically you're targeting a 1.5 by the time it's all said and done, right? So you have one that's getting out at 1-to-1, and then one that's getting out at 2-to-1. You take the average of 1 and 2, it's 1.5. Overall, strategy's been really rock solid. Even if we go back and look at the graph and just run it for January up until now, we can see nothing super great. Right? If we go look at January 1st, actually let's just go run it. Why not? Let's go make that 2025. Hopefully we get a clean line here and we don't get some crazy break in the code. But this is just for this year so far. So on a $500 risk, it's made just north of somewhere right around $5,000, right, on a 500 risk. So for the year, that's a 10R. If we go look at the back test, you can see here, right, 5,000, 3.97% drawdown. Again, pretty solid. Hard to complain about it, honestly. So yes, we have this for MT5. Yes, we have it for MT4. If you have any questions on it, let us know. Keep in mind, you can try this bot for free for 7 days. Like literally for free. It doesn't cost you a penny. If you don't like it, just cancel. No one's here to hold you hostage. The point of these bots is to help basically beginners or intermediate traders who've been struggling to be consistent with trading try to get as much payouts from prop firms as humanly possible. Okay, that's our goal here. We're trying to help people rinse prop firms. We were all beginner traders at one point. We all got alerted by prop firms. We've all probably blown plenty of accounts. Trust me, I've been there. I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm trying to help as many people as possible. I just helped my father literally with our other orb bot the past week and a half ago, past 5 auditions completely hands off. Okay. So if you have any questions on this bot, just message us. You can message us on WAP, social media, email, and our Discord. We are here and more than happy to help. The IFVG bot, you give it a go, 7 days completely free. If you go continue with it after that, we even have a 10x guarantee that basically says if you don't make at least 10x your monthly subscription cost, then we will give you a full month free, whether that's for the IFVG bot or our other bots. Doesn't matter. That's how confident we are in these results. We run these bots. I run them personally. Okay, I'm actually so confident in them that I've actually considered going to get Forex accounts with prop firms to basically get more capital into my pocket because I'm pretty much maxed out on Apex, and I got a couple top step accounts going now. So definitely check out the IFVG bot. The thing is an absolute beast. Let me know if you have any questions. More than happy to help. And with all that being said, I hope you make a ton of profits this year with these prop firms. You rake in some extra cash, and I will see you guys on the charts. Cheers.